Hi friends, host Eric here, talking with famous people, and I'm making this video to respond to a comment, or generally a style of commenting, I guess, as much as anything, that was recently offered by K. Yahan. Now, what's interesting here is the approach. So, what that means is he's coming in to defeat an argument that I haven't made. Okay? He knows he disagrees with me somehow. He doesn't know what my position is. He doesn't want to do the research to find out what the position is. So he tries to spike out all possible positions on it, but he completely misses mine. I've stated on a number of occasions, I'll state it again. What are cognitive functions? Why does the cognitive function model make sense? And what aren't cognitive functions? And what claims am I not making about them? That's the critical question. See, homie here keeps asking, well, what claim? Why do you with cognitive functions? Because this model, blah, 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 blah. Instead, he needs to be asking, what claims are you not making about the cognitive function model? Well, one claim I'm not making is that it's a model. I don't claim it's a model. I claim it's a taxonomy, a way of breaking down the totality of human cognition in a fashion that represents how certain aspects of cognition relate to other aspects of cognition in a variety of different ways. Now, if one is to question the cognitive function model, then I would say, well, foremost, let's talk about attention. Is it true that individuals have attention? And is it true that attention manifests in different ways? In other words, is it possible for one person to prioritize in a given moment, say logical consistency, and in another moment prioritize something else? Yeah, it is, of course. So we start there and we ask ourselves, if we were to taxonomy all of cognition and we were to use some existing ideas that seem to begin to do so, how would we complete that taxonomy in a meaningful way that makes good logical sense, that is consistent with itself, consistent with observations, not worrying about substantiating it scientifically for the purpose of falsification, because you know going in you can't falsify a taxonomy. Now, homeboy here misses the point entirely because he's trying to do exactly that. Hold a taxonomy to the standard of a model. Will the taxonomy uphold scrutiny against that standard? No. Just like a duck won't be a very good cow, no matter how many moos you train it to say. So, problem number one for Homie. He thought he could guess all possible arguments and spike them all out with these massive comments, none of which actually address what I'm saying. Here's a good taxonomy of your human cognition. There are two kinds of action, physical and metaphysical. Metaphysical action is represented by extroverted intuition, and it correlates with improvisation. TI and TE are, respectively, a thinking-based metric that either is objective TI or subjective TE. Everybody has both. The reason TE is subjective is because it is derived from individual wants. That's why it's always linked with FI. So FI means, what do I want? What's important to me on a value or emotional level, regardless of impacts to the world outside of me. And when one successfully implements what one wants, one has good TE. When one successfully requires consistency or attains consistency within one's argumentation, one demonstrates good TI. The only things in the life that have truth values are statements. So this is where we ought to begin in critiquing homeboys ill-advised, or not ill-advised, but like failed comment. K. Yahan. He keeps contrasting against, he's battling arguments that are not mine. That's his problem. I don't give a fuck what he's saying. He's answering something. He's answering somebody. That's not my argument. It's not my position. I'm not going to defend it. The importance of doing a little research, right? So, Again, okay, the way it actually works is the best taxonomy, which is to say a descriptive analysis of an interrelated system of manners of attention that people can choose to use in their observational capacities as agents, that we know for a fact that there is life that occurs through symbols and there is life that occurs through experience, and that those things are distinct. We understand that some individuals prioritize the former, others the latter. All these things naturally are things that are axiomatically true. I'm not making any wild claims or disputes. Note what I'm not doing, referencing any scientific data. Why should I? Defeat the truth, defeat my arguments. Empirics are fucking weak sauce, is the bottom line of it. My raw analysis of this matter is more convincing than any empirics I've ever seen about anything related to it. Why? I've successfully framed the scope of the thing as taxonomical rather than predictive model-wise. I've successfully paired off any arguments related to falsification because, of course, you can't falsify an individual's type because it's based on self-reporting. And not physical structures in the brain that represent the cognitive functions because they're manners of attention, not tools inside the brain. And you can't deny the metaphysical and physical world division because, of course, there are, in fact, symbolic representations of life, like the sort that I'm engaged in right now, and then there are physical experiences like this. Ow, that hurt. There's a difference. It matters. Okay, so now we understand that there are two different manners, basic manners of attention, physical and metaphysical. We can break down all taxonomy into metaphysical and physical action, a metaphysical and physical epistemology, and of course, two metaphysical and physical evaluatory metrics, one emotive, one logical. So, the burden is not upon me to show why this is true. The burden is on anybody who wishes to oppose this model or taxonomy, or whatever you want to call it, to provide a preferable alternative. There is no preferable alternative because every alternative that's presented as preferable results in a failure to withstand my scrutiny. Now, here's the thing. I've articulated my case very carefully in multiple videos. If you want to roll up in here and tell me how I'm wrong, you better fucking watch the videos in which I explain my positions. Thanks for watching Talk with Fence, people, and don't forget to eat plenty of cheese. Also, according to Susie, you cherry-picked data out of that book. How bright is your colorful pink banana, or whatever it's called? Gifts forever. Gifts believing, or something. I don't even remember what the fuck it's called. Gift something. Something gifts.
The original study.
What is it called, though? But what's that book called?
Gifts differing.
Gifts differing, right. According to that, book includes data from that study, but it includes all those data from that study. And Susie says that homie just cherry-picked it. I don't give a fuck. The point is, he's not met the basic burden. He's not done anything. He did a bunch of shit over there unrelated to what I'm saying. So that's what you get for being so intellectually careless as to presume to know what my position is without researching it at all. Thanks for watching Talk with Fence, people. And please do not forget this time to eat plenty of cheese. It's the only way you grow up big and strong and reject these kind of poor applications of your mental prowess where you defeat no one and you sing, oh, this is my fist, and you hit yourself in the face with it. Why do you do that? I don't know. Goodbye.